So when Giuliani writes a letter to the president of Ukraine saying that he's coming there and he wants to hatch this scheme, but he's not coming as a representative of the U.S. government, he's coming as a representative of Trump. And then Trump tries to defend it by saying, well, this is my official duties. How does that square? Check this out. Leave your comments, ding the bell, share it with your friends, and subscribe to our channel. Not about Donald Trump and his corruption, his attempted corruption of the government of Ukraine to help his presidential campaign. One of the arguments that's been made is that Trump was merely doing his job as president of the United States, making sure that the money appropriated by Congress for Ukraine was distributed to a government that was not corrupt. In other words, he was acting in his official capacity as president to prevent corruption in Ukraine. That's their argument. The letter that Rudi Giuliani carried that he gave to President Zelensky, dated May 10th, 2019, that letter said, he identified himself as private counsel to Trump. Quote, just to be precise, I represent him as a private citizen, not as president of the United States. This is quite common under American law because the duties and privileges of a president and a private citizen are not the same. End quote. So here we have Trump's lawyer and partner in crime, Rudi Giuliani, coming right out and saying he's not trying to do this as president. He's trying to do this as Donald Trump, candidate for president or whatever. It's personal. So how do the Republicans respond to this? Well, they've got a couple of responses. I shared some earlier with you. The other big one that they're mounting, and I saw this on Fox News last night several times, was deny military aid. Yeah, of course he denied military. See, they're moving from the deny everything to the, and where I predict they're going to end up is where Mick Mulvaney was with his press conference. Yes, we withheld the money. We did it because we wanted something from them. That's normal. That's always done. That's, get over it. That's where they're going to end up. And they're moving in this direction really rapidly with this argument that Obama withheld funds from Egypt. And a couple of other countries as well that were in the middle of, turmoil and civil wars and things. But Egypt specifically is the one that they point to. And Obama did withhold funds from Egypt. He actually did. Congress appropriated money to give to Egypt, and President Obama said, nope, we're going to stop it right here. Now, what's the difference between Obama doing that and Trump doing that with Ukraine? Well, Obama, first of all, made a public announcement that we were withholding the funds. He then essentially turned over to Congress, after he made the public pronouncement. And Lindsey Graham went on the floor of the Senate to talk about how the funds had to be withheld. Now, why did that happen? Well, because there had been a military coup in Egypt. The government that we had appropriated the money for, a democratically elected government, was replaced by al-Sisi, the military dictator who's now running Egypt. And we didn't want to give money that was supposed to go to a democracy to a country that had just become a military dictatorship. So this was done right out in the open. It was done with the agreement of Congress, and even Lindsey Graham was one of the more outspoken people in favor of Obama withholding funds from Egypt. But Trump's withholding funds from Ukraine, that was done in secret. It was done specifically to get Ukraine to investigate Joe Biden, whereas Obama's withholding of funds from Egypt had nothing to do with asking for any favors from Egypt other than maybe becoming a democracy. But, there it is, right? Giuliani, so just to recap, we start out, Giuliani has been promoting these Ukraine-based conspiracy theories for over a year now. Donald Trump explicitly and specifically directed Giuliani to go to Ukraine and get dirt on Joe Biden. We know this from multiple documents. And this wasn't just Trump and Giuliani. It also included Trump Jr. Giuliani wrote to Ukraine's president to request a meeting and said, unequivocally, I'm doing this as personal counsel to the president. Giuliani said he convinced Trump to remove Marie Yovanovitch, our ambassador to Ukraine, because she was blocking his efforts. I mean, Giuliani was right up front. We got to get rid of this ambassador. She's pointing out that we're hustlers and liars. Ukraine believed that Giuliani, even though he was acting as the personal lawyer for the president, was in fact an important person. They had to talk to him if they wanted to get Trump to release that money and those weapons. And, and Trump told Zelensky 8 different times during one phone call to open investigations into Biden and to work with Giuliani. 8 times. And Trump is still tweeting, read the transcript, it was a perfect phone call. Right. Just a couple other things I want to note very quickly. I mentioned earlier what's